Réné Descartes was a French philosopher and mathematician. He was the first big thinker to ask the fundamental questions and to ignore his previous understanding of the world. This includes the church, science, and existence through experience. He believed that knowledge was grasped by the mind and not the senses. He cast doubt upon the ideas that we have come to understand through our sensory experiences. He questioned these experiences to the point that he could not trust them. After all, how do we know whether our sense perceptions are of our own, and not the illusions created by our own dreams and hallucinations? When we go to sleep, our dreams seem as real as reality. But surely they are not real, because when you wake up, there is no way of proving whether what you had experienced had actually happened. To continue with this idea, Descartes thought that maybe an evil, all-powerful being was implanting these ideas within us. What does this mean? Simply put, Descartes reasoned that nothing could exist because his senses were not reliable enough to prove its existence. Through all of this, he could come to one conclusion, though, that he himself must exist because there must be something that is asking these fundamental questions in the first place. Cogito ergo sum, I think, therefore I am, is a very good phrase for summarizing Descartes' philosophy. He held a strict dualism, which meant that there were no causal relationships between the mind and the world around him. The mind was non-material and cannot be experienced. Descartes is a rationalist. This means that he is capable of coming to conclusions without relying on sensory experience. Some undeniable realities can be proven rationally. An example of this is, how do we know, as humans, that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line? How have we come to this conclusion? Through a priori knowledge that exists prior to humans. What does this mean for the existence of God? If we cannot prove that anything exists, then how can God exist? Descartes argues that such a perfect idea, like God, could not have been created by an imperfect being, such as man. Therefore, God must have planted these ideas within him, thus proving God's existence. Descartes bridges the empirical gap by saying that our a priori knowledge, such as the understanding of basic geometric shapes, helps us to make sense of more complex ideas. Complex things are deconstructed into these basic components so that the mind can make sense of them. Remember, though, that there is still no way to prove whether these objects actually exist or not. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to learn more about another philosopher whose ideas came from Descartes' holes in his logic, click here for the video on John Locke, and click over here for another rationalist, Immanuel Kant.